So on the new build that I'm currently working on, I came across a problem. I need to mount this amplifier dash control somewhere in the front of the vehicle. But I don't want to just drill a hole and have this knob randomly sticking somewhere out of a panel. I want to make it integrated and like it is meant to be there. So how did I go about making this custom mount? I'm Mark, welcome to CarAudioFabrication, the show where together we learn how to master car audio and design, build, and install our dream car audio system. On this channel, we do car audio gear overviews, we do car audio lessons, and we do car audio build logs like this video. So without further ado, let's get into it. I want to start with taking a look at this panel, and I can kind of walk you guys through what I think is going to be a good plan. Really quick though, before we get started, I do want to thank our monthly channel sponsor, AudioControl. On this project, I'm going to be using the AudioControl ACR-3 remote level control, and what's cool about this is I can push this button in and it allows me to select the different presets on the DSP that we've programmed. We can have 4 different presets, and when we're setting up the DSP software, we can make this either be a total system volume control, or we can make it a bass control. That's what we'll be doing on this system. What's cool though is in the software, you can tell it exactly which channels you want to be affected by this control. AudioControl's D series of amplifiers have a DSP, which is a digital signal processor, built into the amplifier, so you're not having to add a secondary piece of equipment. It's all built into one, which leads to a really nice compact install. Learn more about the ACR-3 and the D series of amplifiers at the link down in the video description. So what I really like about the Jetta control panel here is these little panel pieces actually pop out really easily. They're not melted into place or anything like that, and I was actually able to find this one here, which is a replacement. That's why I popped out this little guy here. It's a replacement so we can add our secondary USB. If I pop these out right here, this is the space that I want to use for the ACR-3. If we look at the back of the directions here, what's nice about the ACR-3 is it's designed that we can take it apart and flush mount it into a panel. So step 1, let's break this guy down. If you were going to flush mount this into an existing dash panel, what you could do is use this piece here as your guide. You could mark out the different hole locations and then drill those holes. AudioControl gives you the different hole sizes that you need to make. And then you could push the control board knob through and attach the nut and you would be good to go. Now in my case here, I'm going to use a laser in order to cut a couple of different pieces of acrylic. So I'm going to be drawing out all those holes using CAD software, but I think I'm going to be able to go right in this location here. In order to use that location though, I did need to get rid of one of these little dividers, so I did a light bit of modification using the Dremel tool. Let's move on to creating our design. So right here is what I've come up with for the design. The top plate, of course, has the 2 cutouts for both of the LEDs, as well as this cutout for the knob itself and the little alignment pin. And if we hide that, the next piece below it, this is going to give me some thickness of material so that I can have a tapped thread in here, because I'm going to bolt the assembly from the back side using a threaded fastener. You may notice these holes are covered by the top piece because we don't want to see those bolts. The next pieces down, these just serve to align the whole assembly within that little area on the pocket. And if I hide those, the final piece, this is just going to give me the gripping strength. These are just through holes that the bolt will go through into the tapped holes in order to hold everything in from the back side. I cut this first little test piece here out of 1/8 inch acrylic just to check all the spacing of all the holes. Everything lines up good. So once we get this in, it'll sit at about this level and look a little something like this. Let's start getting all these pieces cut. So I'm test fitting my pieces and everything looks good, except for, you guys may have caught it in my design, this back plate. It definitely needs to have a hole in it so that there's clearance for that circuit board to push through it. No big deal. I'm just going to modify the design real quick and add a hole on the inside of that back plate. There we go. That's more like it. So all my test fitting here looks good. Now I just need to glue everything together. To glue the little pieces of the assembly together, I carefully align them, and I'm using an acrylic cement. Here's what the assembly so far looks like. You can see I have that spacer piece in order to give this some thickness, as well as those tab pieces that position this inside. And I have to say, this is really satisfying how perfect it fits in there. It can't twist because of those little tabs. Oh man, let's get this put together. And here it is, my friends. Check it on out. We've got the ACR-3 remote dash control fully mounted in our factory panel. Now, once I got the panel installed back into the vehicle, it looked like this, and I am super happy with how this turned out. It looks sleek, and I think it fits perfectly. Now, I want to hear from you guys. Have you ever made a custom mount for a bass knob before, or do you usually just kind of hide it under the dash or stick it in a center console somewhere where it won't be seen? Basically, I want to hear from you guys and know, how have you installed these before? Coming up, we have got some sound treatment to do. And unfortunately, this car only allows 6-inch speakers up front. So how can we accommodate some 6.5s? We're gonna make some custom rings. To catch those videos, I would love to have you as a subscriber. We've passed 500,000 subscribers. Thank you guys so much. That is really awesome. And just so you know, it is a proven fact that every like on this video will make this build sound even better. So help me out, guys. You know I appreciate you. You guys can learn more about the ACR-3 and the DSP amplifier that I'm using from show sponsor AudioControl at the links down in the video description. A special thanks to them, along with Bryson, Mike, Ali, Jared, Jerry, Marcos, William, and the rest of the Patreon membership team. A big thanks to all those guys for making these videos possible, and thank you for watching.